Hey everybody, it's Bonnie with Healthy Meals again. I have a little treat for you. These are prunes. Let's turn you this way so you can see them. So these are prunes that I have out. I'm going to show you, I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you guys have seen the no-bake cookies, the chocolate no-bake cookies. Well, we're going to make the chocolate no-bake cookies using prunes. And do not sit and tell me, ew, that's gross, disgusting, da-da-da. It's good. I promise you it is good. Less sugar, more protein, a lot more nutrients in it than you normally would have. And it's easy. Very, very easy. You take these prunes, we're going to chop them up, and then we're going to boil them with a little bit of water. Okay? We're going to add some butter. We're going to add some rolled oats, some peanut butter. I mean, it's the same ingredients. The difference is, rather than sugar, you get to add honey or some other sweetener. I have some oatmeal right now that has a little bit of maple sugar in it, and that is what I'm using, is the oatmeal packets with that in it. By the way, this chopping up of the prunes is very sticky, so you're going to want to chop them up and then wash your hands afterwards. If you have one of those choppers, that probably would work really well. You just take it and pound, 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 and you're done. I don't know why I keep forgetting to buy one of those. So anyway, so I'm going to chop these up, and we will return to you guys in just excuse me, losing my voice, just a few minutes. Hey everybody. Okay, so I put my pitted prunes in here. I've got a cup of water, which is your next ingredient, and then we're going to add a little bit of lemon juice to this. It calls for 1 tablespoon. That's all you will need. And then we're going to let this cook to the point that it creates kind of a paste. So I'm going to let this cook for just a little bit. There's a little tablespoon. Let it thicken up, and then you and I will be right back. This obviously is going to take a little longer than half an hour, but it's no-bake cookies. It's okay. You're not going to make it very often. I figure with Memorial Day this weekend, this is a good treat to put together for your kids. Some of them may not want the prunes, but you don't have to show them what's in it. You just have them try it, and then they love it, and you get to make it more and more, and then you can show them the recipe, and they love it. So anyway, I'll be back when this is a little bit thicker. See you then. Okay, everybody. So here we go. We have our paste. Let me turn this flash on. We have our paste. Now we got to add other stuff to this. Looks pretty disgusting right now, I know. All right, so we are going to add in peanut butter, cocoa, and some butter. We need just a tablespoon of butter, so we're just going to take my little stick here and cut out a tablespoon. And by this time, once it turns into the paste, you just want to simmer it. You want to keep it on low the whole time you're cooking it. And yes, it takes a little while, but that's what you want. You want it to take a while. You don't want this to happen overnight. That's what I was telling you. It'll take you a little while to get this going. There we go. There. That way you can see a little bit better. So we've got our butter in there. We're going to let that simmer on low for a little bit longer. Okay, and then what we are looking at is 2 tablespoons of peanut butter and 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder. So we're going to do the cocoa powder first just because it's easier. It just pulls right out. What I usually do is I just estimate it and throw it in. It's cocoa. It's chocolate. You know me. Chocolate, chocolate, chocolate. The prunes are actually going to bring out that chocolate flavor and enhance it. So when you're making this, that's essentially what you're doing, is you're putting the cocoa in. The prunes are there for sweetening as well as to bring out a little bit more of that chocolate. So it really does taste like the chocolate peanut butter things that you get, the oatmeal ones. the original, I should say, full of sugar, fat, and all that good stuff ones. These you could actually eat for like breakfast or an afternoon snack. Like let's say the kids come home and they want something sweet and they think they're getting a cookie. You, however, know much, much better. Now I am using a natural peanut butter, pre-stirred. It is Skippy. It's got a little bit of honey in it. I use it with the honey because the honey is the sweetener in this. So there's my little natural sugar. It was on sale. That's why I have it. Alright, so we've got that little bit in there. It says to add a little bit of salt. So we're going to add just a teaspoon of salt real quick. And then we're going to stir this up, let it get to a nice little, almost a cookie consistency. There we go. Blend it. Make sure the butter's melted. Make sure the peanut butter's melted. And then we get to put our oatmeal in here. Drop these puppies off onto a plate. What I think I'm going to do, I have some leftover slivered almonds. Oh, there we go. Chocolate and peanut butter. The flavor or the smell in this kitchen is just switched from fruit to chocolate and peanut butter. Now, you guys have made the no-bake cookies before. They look like no-bake cookies to you? It does to me. Alright, so there we go. So we have this. We've got it all stirred up. Now we got to add in our oats. Now, my Better Oats. That's what I use, is Better Oats. I like this. This recipe actually calls for a little bit of either honey, agave, a little bit of maple sugar. So I like to use this because it's whole grain. They actually try to use healthy ingredients as often as possible. They don't like to use a lot of sugar. So I can get the maple flavor and the oats. So we're just going to mix in a couple of these. I go 1 packet at a time. I usually use 2 to 4 depending on what this looks like. Now, at this point, I'm going to turn this puppy off. And I think we're going to use just a silver spoon because this one's flapping all over the place. Big spoon. That's what I want. Because I want to be able to really stir in all of these oats. Oh my gosh, this stuff smells fantastic. I know you have to wait for it to cool, but I tell you what, I really want to eat this right now. It smells good. Alright, so there's packet 2. That might be good for this. Yeah, I think with the almonds that I'm going to be putting in here, that might be a good mix. Now this recipe, the one that I actually got this out of, or got this from, built this from, I'm not sure how you want to say that. The original recipe says that you make balls and then you roll it like in graham crackers or something like that. But I like the no-bake version of it. There are a lot of oatmeal in there, or a lot of oatmeal little flakes in there. I'm going to actually, I think, add a third one. I want a little bit more oatmeal in here. And then we'll add our slivers of almonds as well. One of those people, I don't know, if I'm going to eat something like this, I like a lot of the whole grains mixed into it, because then I can eat it, you know, if I wake up tomorrow morning and I'm running late to my appointment, because I actually have an early appointment tomorrow, which is very rare for me. But, you know, if I wake up early and I don't have a lot of time, I can grab a couple of these and I've got breakfast. Delicious homemade breakfast. It's got grains in it. It's got prunes in it. I mean, could you ask for anything more? Alright, well, I guess you could. Someone to make it for you. That would be awesome, huh? Oh, Jeeves, I want some food. Can you make some for me? Alright, so here's our leftover almond slivers. We're just going to shake those in there. I have no idea how many are left. Basically, whatever half this bag is, this little tiny bag. The recipe does not call for this, but I don't know, it sounded good today. The flavor mixed with everything, just a little bit more of a nut protein into it. So, it's a nice thick cookie mixture, see? Alright, so now what we do with this is we get to spoon it out. Sorry for all the tapping. I know it gets really loud. So we're going to use this plate. I don't know if you can see, but this is my nice big little plate for here. I'm not really sure how many of these we're going to get out of this. It really varies for me. Sometimes I have more, sometimes I have less. Just depends. But essentially what I do is I take a tablespoon. It's just like dropping cookies. I don't know if your mom ever did this, but you take a tablespoon, fill with it. Drop it. Form it. Because I'm just anal like that. And that's it. Keep dropping it. Now when you go to eat this, and when the kids go to eat this, you honestly don't taste the prunes. I mean, there's still prune pieces in here. You're not going to taste them. It doesn't taste like raisins. It doesn't taste like there's any fruit whatsoever in this. It tastes like chocolate, no bake, peanut butter cookies. It's kind of like your black bean brownies. You've got black beans in it. It's very, very sweet. It tastes like brownies. Difference is, it's got a ton of protein in it. And the cool part about this is, you don't need eggs on a regular basis with this recipe. But even if you did, the prunes have a stickiness factor. And that's really what the eggs are for, is when you put eggs into a recipe, it's to get things to stick together. So you don't need it with these prunes. But you could have a lot of fun with this recipe. You could put little gummy things on top. Have you ever seen those cupcakes with the worms that come out of them? You could put a little gummy worm on the top, and there you go. It looks like the top of those cupcakes, doesn't it? Alright, I'm going to have more than 12, that's for sure. So, as soon as I put this 12th one in, we'll get another platter. Alright, let's see. Let me get another plate real quick. Because what you want to do when you're doing this, too, by the way, is it's easy, it's simple. If you can do it, just because it's going into the fridge and it's not going anywhere after that. If you can set it up where whatever you have it sitting on, it would be a serving platter as well. Takes up less space in the fridge. Perfect. I don't think we have very many more left in here, so we're just going to do it this way. Oh, I wish the cameras had sense. Although the day that I go and burn something is the day that I won't want that. Tell you what, anybody out there thinks that they can't cook, my family will be the first person to tell you that when I was in my 20s, at least 10 years ago, I could not cook. I remember making my mom and dad a roast for Christmas, and I misread the recipe and thought I was supposed to cook it in the beer marinade. It was probably the most disgusting Christmas meal I have ever had. And I don't know what the flip in my head was or why now it's so much easier, but I don't know. One day I started practicing and really taking my time and reading recipes, and well, here you go. So, alright, so we have this whole plate right here, plus these 4. We're going to put them in the fridge, and then as soon as they're done, which basically is just when they're firm, same way as you would normally do, we get to eat them and enjoy. And a serving size of these is actually 3. And I don't know if you can see, but they're pretty big size. Big old tablespoon. And you can see the oats. A lot of that is
Like, you got that nice chunk of almond right there. Oh, does that not look delicious? All right, so it takes about 20 minutes in the fridge, sometimes 30 for it to harden. And that's it. You're good to go. Enjoy your treat this weekend. I hope everyone has a wonderful Memorial Day.